Season 2 of Netflix beloved rom-com series Nobody Wants This premiered October 23rd with 10 episodes, and while I found myself entertained throughout the new season, I think the plot was pretty much more of the same in regards to the love story between Kristen Bell and Adam Brody's character Joanne and Noah. I'm going to be sharing some of the highs and lows of season 2 of Nobody Wants This, so if you haven't watched the season in its entirety yet, be warned that spoilers are ahead. The beginning of the season finds Joanne and her sister Morgan recording a new episode of their podcast and is basically catching up the viewers and the audience of their podcast on what's been going on with Joanne and Noah. Things have been pretty good. They're in a happy space in their relationship, but the pair are coming to the end of the honeymoon phase, as Morgan puts it, so it's already putting a bug in Joanne's ear for self-sabotage. The bulk of Joanne and Noah's arc this season is basically about her decision to convert to Judaism, which of course, if you watch season 1, was a big thing for Noah, but at the end of the season, he was saying that they'll figure it out on the notion that she would eventually convert. But Joanne is taking her sweet time to decide, and from a lack of communication or maybe a lack of comprehension, she's thinking Noah is just cool with her being the way she is and that the conversation for conversion is completely off the table. And that's not the case. So that causes rifts in their relationship once again. So like I said, much of the season is just them going back and forth, having the same conversation, along with working out the kinks of their relationship. And the reason why I said this season is much of the same is because Joanne and Noah are still having this conversation about her faith and what that means to him and for his career as a rabbi moving forward. And the season pretty much ends the same as the first one, where Joanne and Noah have a big fight about this main issue. They break up, but then they eventually decide to throw caution to the wind and figure it out. I was like, this is literally the same thing that happened in the season 1 finale. So that was kind of off-putting. Like, how long are we going to be on this same train? But I do like the conversations that Noah and Joanne have about their relationship and how they do seem to have a healthy line of communication sometimes when it comes to addressing their issues. And I think it's great to see a mature, non-toxic relationship on screen. But out of the pairing, I think I'm definitely gravitating towards Noah and his feelings and issues about their relationship. And I think anytime Adam Brody is on screen, he is just electric. And that's why he was getting all those award nominations. But the ensemble cast and the guest stars are pretty much what saved season 2. Justine Loop, Timothy Simmons, and Jackie Tone as Morgan, Sasha, and Esther were the best parts of season 2 for me. While Esther was going through a crisis of realizing that motherhood and being a wife wasn't enough and decided to separate from her husband, Sasha was just being there to support her the best way he could and also being there for his low-key bestie Morgan as she was trying to find love with her therapist. Anytime the three of them were on screen together, in scenes paired off or separately, those were the ones I enjoyed the most. And I really do love the dynamic between Morgan and Sasha, more than I love the dynamic between Noah and Joanne, if I'm being honest. Not that I even want Sasha and Morgan to be an actual thing. I just like the idea that they're friends and they kind of have this flirty, like bullying thing going on. But again, I do not want them as a couple ever. Now to the guest stars. There were a few this season, and to be honest, the main reason why I even tuned into Nobody Wants This Season 2 was for Leighton Meester's guest appearance. I watched season 1 of Nobody Wants This a little later than when it first came out, just to get into the hype because everyone was praising the show. But when I watched it, I wasn't that gung-ho about it. It was okay. So I wasn't hyped to go back into a new season, like I said. But when I saw Leighton was going to have a guest appearance, I was like, I gotta tune in for my girl. I am a Blair Waldorf fan all day, every day. So I was excited to see her. Leighton appeared in episode 5, and I just wanted more of her. I loved every second she was on screen. She was so funny and so beautiful, and I kind of wanted her character to have a lasting role. It was also funny to see the dynamic between Leighton and Adam since they are married in real life, so just to see them playing opposite of one another was a moment I really enjoyed in season 2. Overall, Nobody Wants This season two was watchable, but I think forgettable. Nothing about the season really stood out for me from what we already saw in season one. All 10 episodes of Nobody Wants This season two are streaming now on Netflix. Now I want to turn it over to you. How did you feel about this season? What were the highs and lows for you? Let's talk in the comments.